Alright, part 2 of reviewing graphing and substitution intro. Alright, now we have two equations that are in standard form. Okay, with this section, the first step was to solve for x or y in either problem. Okay, and what I see here is that I have 2x plus y equals 1. Well, I could solve for y in this problem. I could also solve for x or y in the second problem, x plus y equals 6. So you could choose. I'm going to solve for y in the first problem. That's our first step. Okay, solve for y or x in the first problem. Well, I have 2x plus y equals 1. We're going to subtract 2x on both sides, so we have y equals negative 2x plus 1. Okay, that's the first step. Get x or y by itself. In this case, we got y by itself in one of the equations. Second step. Well, let's go back and look. Second step, sub either x equals or y equals into the other equation. Let's do that. Alright, we have y equals negative 2x plus 1, and what I'll do is I'll write this right next to the equations we had before. Okay, I don't want to cross this one out yet because I may use it later. So what I want to do is sub in what y equals this, into the other equation for y. Alright, so we have x plus, instead of writing y, we're going to write negative 2x plus 1. And that will equal 6. Alright, third step, solve for x. Combine like terms. 1 plus negative 2 is negative 1. X plus 1 equals 6. Solve for x. Negative x equals 5. And we get x equals negative 5. Alright. So for our answer right now, we have x equals negative 5. Alright, step 4. Let's go back real quick. Let's check out what step 4 was. Sub in the value for x or y into the first equation. Now here's the deal. We change this first equation to this. Okay? Just to be on the safe side, to make sure we did this correctly, let's plug in x here. It doesn't really matter. You can't plug in x here, or you can plug in x here, or plug in for x here. Alright, we know that x equals negative 5. So let's go ahead and plug in negative 5 into our first equation. So we have 2 times negative 5 plus y equals 1. We want to solve for y. And we get y equals 11. Okay, so our answer is negative 5, 11. Alright, if you're not sure if you did it correctly or not, what can you do? You can always plug the numbers back into one or both equations. Okay, so if I look at this equation here, x plus y equals 6, my value is negative 5 for x and 11 for y. Well, what's negative 5 plus 11? Is that 6? Yes. Alright, so I did it correctly. Okay. The next example I'm going to show you is when one variable is solved for in both scenarios. Okay, these problems are may be a little bit easier, but they're different from what we've been doing. Okay, it's the same process. Okay, we still take this because y equals that and plug it in for y in the other problem. But what we're really doing is we're setting both equations equal to each other. So 5x minus 1 equals negative 3x plus 7. Since y equals this and y equals this, then they equal each other. Alright, solve for x. Oops, plus 1. I'm already ahead. And we get 8x equals 8. Sorry folks, that's a 1. X equals 1. Okay, so our first value is 1 for x. Alright, now we're going to sub that value into one of the equations. It doesn't matter which one. Alright, I'll pick the first one, y equals 5x minus 1, so y equals 5 times 1 minus 1. Y equals 5 minus 1, y equals 4. 1 comma 4. Alright, there's our answer, 1, 4. And if you wanted to double check again, plug in 4 for y and 1 for x in the other equation. Check it out. I'm going to put 1 here and 4 here just to make sure I did it correctly. 4 equals negative 3 plus 7. Yeah. Okay, why this scenario is important is because we have this in slope-intercept form and this in slope-intercept form. Do I have one more? Okay. Y equals 2x plus 3 and 2x plus 3y equals 17. Okay. First step, solve for either variable. In this case, we have y by itself, so it's already done. We're going to take that and plug it in for y in the other equation. 2x plus 3 times 2x plus 3. And that's going to equal 17. Alright, so now we have a lot of math skills going on here to solve for x. We have distributive property, and we have combining like terms, subtraction property of equality, and division. Okay, x equals 1. So first point is 1. Remember, take that value, plug it in for x. So y equals 2x plus 3. We're going to plug in 1 for x. Y equals 2 plus 3. Y equals 5. There's our answer, 1 comma 5. Want to double check it? 2x plus 3y equals 17. Plug in 1 for x. Plug in 5 for y. And we have 2 plus 15 equals 17. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, time to practice.